Hello, Northeast District family. Welcome to this NED Talk, 3 minutes to equip your church. I am Dr. Anita, and I have with me today Pastor Robert Arrington from BWC Cherryville, Pennsylvania, and Pastor Corey from Fusion Church in Cobleskill, New York. And so we are talking about how to move from online streaming that might be more stagnant and passive to being intentional, specifically in this one about evangelism. So, Pastor Robert, why don't you start and share a bit about how this online church can be very evangelistic?
Sure. It's interesting that you use the word passive, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I think, 100 years ago, whatever, the way that people came to church was through word of mouth. And nowadays, especially more and more so, what's the first thing that people do? They look at your website. And if you have an online stream, they look at your stream to see what they can expect when they walk in the door. So it's less intimidating, I think. And so it's important, I think, to not only have your website and your stream quality and reliable, but it's important to make sure you make that present for people. You offer that invitation for people who are watching, who are your faithful attenders, to share that, to share those links, whether you broadcast on Facebook or YouTube, to kind of reach out passively from the church's end. We don't have to do much. It's very easy and free to do that. But we can make that intentionality about getting into our community that through social media and through those digital means. It can be so cool and so valuable. And a lot of people will, at least at Bethany Wesleyan, they will mention to us, "Hey, how did you come?" "Oh, I looked at you online. I've been watching your service for a few weeks now. You didn't know it, but I've been watching, and I finally wanted to come in person." So we just think it's really cool, and it's kind of the first entry that people have into your church who may have never been in before.
Yeah, and to that point, like I've gone in, like Cobleskill is a small town. I've gone into Price Chopper or Walmart, and people are greeting me, and I don't know who they are, and they'll come out and say, you don't know me, but I know you. So and so shared this your Facebook feed, and so I feel like I know you. I know your kids. You talk about that. And so it's valuable for us as pastors, as congregation members that maybe even watching this talk too, to quickly just jump on and just hit that share button, to share. There's some people in our congregation that actually share, if Pastor Feder or somebody's preaching a message and they feel like it could really touch somebody, it's an easy, share to that, even privately to that people. But, we encourage people even during the service, hey, if you get bored, and we make a joke of it, like if you get bored during the service, we're not going to be offended if you pull out your phone. Just if you're going to pull out your phone, hit the share button on Facebook and let people know that you're watching here, because that's simple. We sometimes think it's complicated to be evangelistic. It doesn't have to be, especially with online ministry.
And I just want to make one last statement. Sorry to jump in. Um, But I think because it is the entryway, that gate into your church in a lot of ways for a lot of people, I think it's very, very important, probably more important than you would think, to make sure it's quality and reliable. Because if people jump in and hear bad audio or don't hear anything at all, or it's a weird camera shot where they can't really see what's going on, I think they're less likely to be there in person or at least stay online. They'll just keep moving on with their day.
Yeah, if that's something you struggle with as a church, Pastor Robert and I would, be very willing. Contact the district office, ask them for our contact information, and we would just love to help you with that. It doesn't have to be complicated, just because we're saying it has to be quality. Like it doesn't have to be complicated, and we can help you come up with a solution to make a quality stream. The two of us.
Absolutely.
Amen. Amen. This is so good for us to have this kind of conversation because Jesus came to seek and save the lost. And for us as the church in this day and age to use any way we can to seek and save the lost. And online streaming is a very powerful way to do that. and you never know who might be in heaven one day because we made this effort. So thank you so much, pastors, for sharing today. And for those of you who are watching, we encourage you to watch the other Ned Talks on this topic. We'll be going into discipleship next. So thank you.